Hey guys, what's going on? JMG here, JMane Gaming, and we are about to react to something high. It's been out for a while, like a month, but I haven't really checked on it because I was so busy with everything I had going on. But I seen it and I was like, okay, wait, is this what I think it is? And it is. So I think this is like an actual game being made of the mobile game that came out, Brave Exvius. I actually played that when it first came out. I was decent. I had I played it for a good while because I had Locke from Final Fantasy VI in my main team, and I had some people from I think I stopped around the time they added Final Fantasy Type Zero characters. You know about that game, that old one with the class. But yeah, I played it for a while. I actually enjoyed it. That was my first kind of mobile game I was a little addicted to, I would say, because I definitely played it every day just to do the events and like get all the little gems and whatnot. So yeah, so they actually made it into a game. I'm curious on how it looks. I'm curious on what they're gonna go with. So let's see, guys. I kind of want to see this and probably some gameplay because I mean, you know me, Final Fantasy is my life at this point. So I need to see what they bring into the table. Look at these graphics, bro. PS1.
Returns to its roots with cinematic pixel art in a classic tale of crystals.
Okay, it looks pretty pretty.
With a new twist.
No, this game got. Let me pause it, bro. Let me pause. I'm sorry. I know the game Bad Guys is called like the Vertius or something. So it's like a Vertius of wind and a Vertius of water and a Vertius of light. I haven't fought all of them because I didn't, get that far into the mobile game. But I do remember that. You fight like the Earth one first or something. Yeah, just think of it like the Fiends in 4, something like that.
Final Fantasy Resonance.
Okay.
A mysterious warrior driven by revenge and shrouded in darkness seeks to shatter the 8 crystals that sustain this world.
Okay.
As a knight of the realm, you set out on a journey to protect the crystals.
It looks crisp. It looks clean.
By a shared fate.
It looks very clean, bro. God, they're good at the pixel art.
Fantastic lands.
Turn this up a little bit more.
And overcome countless perils along the way.
Yo, this looks fire.
Let's do this thing. Uncover the secrets of the past as you discover the truth of this world. Summon new strength from outside and within.
Summons Odin, Shiva, Santetsuke.
Final Fantasy Resonance.
It looks fun. It looks fun.
October 22nd, 2020.
Whoa, come on, this year? Holy nipples, I didn't know that. Whoa. I didn't know that. October 22nd? Dang, bro.
Resonate across worlds.
Heroes resonate across worlds. Noctis. Oh, you could summon the past Final Fantasy characters. Are they like equipable summons like that? Who would I get? I would definitely get Zidane. Who wouldn't get Cloud? But Fable October 22nd is crazy. I did not know that. Dang. Wow, bro. October 22nd, I really did not know that. That would show some gameplay that I could look at. It was like 10 minutes. Man, though, that's crazy, dude. That is crazy because what comes out in October? Nothing really, but I still gotta play 14, like, and catch up on Final Fantasy 14 to get ready for Evercold. But bro, I don't. This is what are you doing to me, bro? How am I gonna do that? How am I? I may have to start early. I was gonna start next month, but I mean, it's looking cooked. It's looking cooked. Final Fantasy Resonance coming out. I gotta play that. Like I can't just. There's some games you can skip, but I don't want to skip that one. I really don't. I want to just play it and just enjoy it. So, man, that's that. Let's see some gameplay. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. There was one that said like 10-minute gameplay, bro. Here it goes. Can we just watch this one? A little bit of this.
There, that got them. A turn-based HD 2D Final Fantasy, huh? It's hard to believe it's real. As someone who grew up on old school Final Fantasy games and JRPGs, it's hard to believe I was able to play Final Fantasy Resonance.
Okay, it looks like a bunch of abilities they got just lined
part
up.
Of an IGN exclusive. From the struggles of finishing Final Fantasy 4 and 6 when I was just 5 years old, to the hundreds
4
of
has some
hours I
difficult
continued
bosses.
to happily invest in Final Fantasy 14 and everything in between, the series continues to help shape
Speaking of
me.
14,
So to
guys.
see it kind of horseshoe back around to its origins here in 2026 with turn-based combat and expressive pixel art for a full traditional style RPG, it's wild to see. I have a ton of details.
It's kind of got some Brave Exvius and Octopath mixed in.
Final Fantasy Resonance is the one I'm looking forward to most.
Let's do this thing.
I haven't even beaten any of the Octopath games, but I'm close to beating 2. I'm really close to beating 2.
To set things up a bit, Resonance is an adaptation of Brave
And I got
Exvius,
a 0.
the
I
Final
bought
Fantasy
0.
mobile game that shuttered in 2025, which had a 10-year run. Now you might be thinking, this is like how Octopath Traveler 0 was a revamp of the mobile game Octopath Traveler Champions of the Continent. However, Resonance is a lot different. This is
Okay.
not a port or even a remake of Brave Exvius, rather it serves as the narrative foundation with a whole new combat system and overworld. Its story has been tuned for a traditional RPG that's informed by Brave Exvius with everything else built from the ground up. It's got airships, chocobos, the summons you know and love, and an HD 2D art style that's more detailed than what we've seen before. Resonance follows the main
Yeah.
protagonist, Rain, a good-natured knight
I like
from
the
kingdom
character
of
art.
Grandshelt, who
It
has
looks
a
very
complicated
detailed.
relationship with his father, who is also the king. And early on, his group of friends join the fight to protect the world's magic crystals from being destroyed by a big bad villain named Veritas of the Dark. This group includes characters like Laswell, a no-nonsense knight, and Rain's childhood best friend, Lid, who's an aspiring master engineer following the footsteps of every Sith
Lid,
before
okay,
her,
Lid.
and
I
Fina,
like Lid.
an amnesiac who's a summoner tied to the crystals that preserve the world. It's got some real Final Fantasy setup going on here, and if you've played Brave Exvius, then this will all sound familiar. In the demo
Yeah,
I played,
a
I
little
got
bit.
to explore a bit of the overworld, which is split into multiple continents divided by water. I got to visit the town of Dwarves Forge, where we're greeted by a hearty lolly ho from every dwarf there, and I got to complete a full story dungeon along with a big boss fight. It does seem
Ooh.
like a more lighthearted and colorful adventure off the bat, and the more playful voice acting also supports this notion of a brighter kind of drama. It also
Okay.
reminds me of the recent Dragon Quest remakes in HD 2D in terms of
Oh, I've
tone.
beaten 3.
Resonance plays
I
up
beat
its
3.
goofy side quite a bit, although like all things Final Fantasy, I'm sure it has a darker side right around the corner. The dungeon I completed had me tracking down Borin, a master engineer who Lid has an affinity for, since he's gone missing from Dwarves Forge. The dwarves say he's been kidnapped, and you already know he's being taken for his talents and being coerced to do some mysterious evil deeds. This leads you into the overworld and eventually the Mobilis shipyard, a maze-like dungeon that has some light puzzles, story cutscenes, a timed escape sequence, and a sick boss fight against a mechanized drill while riding on a speeding freight train.
That's pretty cool.
Even though this is all early on in the story, I still got to see the depths of the combat system itself. Resonance does not use an ATB system and instead opts for a straight turn order displayed at the top of the screen. Enemies have
That's
a
cool.
stagger meter that builds
Kinda like,
with each hit, and they take on more stagger damage when you hit their
Persona?
elemental weakness.
Bingo.
It's kind of like a turn-based twist on what we've seen in Final Fantasy 13 or 7 Remake. Elemental affinities are a huge part of combat, so having the breadth of elements covered in your party composition is important. But you're not just swapping in the right party members to cover this. Instead, you have what are called visions. You can think of these as personas from the Persona series or JoJo stands that each character can equip, all of which come with their
okay.
own skill set to
I
bring
figured that.
additional powers to each party member. While many of the visions are original characters, one of the big appeals of Brave Exvius and ostensibly Resonance is that each mainline entry in Final Fantasy is represented by a star character who shows up as an equipable vision.
Wow.
For example, Ishtola from Final Fantasy XIV is a vision who brings water and healing spells, while Cloud from Final Fantasy VII comes with a variety of thunder spells and hard-hitting physical attacks. They do not replace
he
the
does.
movesets of party members who have them equipped, and instead add depth to what they're already capable of. So, in a battle, you should be aiming to stagger enemies because party members who stagger an enemy are granted an extra turn in a bonus phase. And if you stagger all the enemies, you then call upon one of the 4 visions equipped in your party to do an all-out attack style resonance attack to inflict a ton of damage or bring some much-needed support in tough situations. When you line up all the right spells and attacks along with staggering enemies and calling upon visions, battles can then snowball into a relentless series of big damage numbers flying off. Calling upon visions is accompanied by these bespoke CGI cuts, kind of like the animations that play when using summons in older Final Fantasies, but I find them kind of awkward. Not because I don't think they look cool, but it creates this weird uncanny valley between sudden CGI cinematics playing and the amazing pixel art of the actual game.
Oh,
It
okay.
feels
It's
out of
off-putting.
place, but it's one of those things where you watch it the first few times and ultimately skip every time afterward. However, the actual pixel art for Visions is fantastic. Seeing their ethereal presence backing up each party member looks pretty sick, but also their in-engine animations bring them to life in a new way that you didn't get in their original games. In addition to Y'shtola and
that's
Cloud,
true.
I saw the Warrior of Light from Final Fantasy I, Terra from Final Fantasy VI, and Shantoto from Final Fantasy XI. And I can't wait to see the rest of the series' stars manifest as visions in Resonance. Another interesting twist to
nice.
combat is that Fina is a true summoner, the only one who can call upon espers to come into battle, making her a truly unique party member. While I was only able to use Siren from the start, the songstress who can heal and support like no other, I also got to recruit the lightning god Ramuh. In Resonance, you unlock new espers by finding them in optional dungeons and fighting them in a tough boss battle, like you see here, me fighting Ramuh. They're tucked away in corners in the overworld, and it's one of the ways it taps into that old school exploration.
That's
You
cool.
want to do this not just because
So
they
they just
look cool
optional.
in combat,
I didn't even
but
think
because
of
they
that.
deepen Fina's capabilities and can turn the tide when called into battle. The same goes for the visions from Final Fantasy's Legacy.
They optional
You'll find
too?
these shrines in the overworld and are treated to this dreamlike montage of scenes from the very Final Fantasy that vision is from. You're then asked to answer a series of questions related to the story of that character and their game before unlocking them as this kind of ode to the series. I'm not entirely
Cool.
sure how the answers affect things, but it's a neat little quiz that contextualizes your answers to test your memory of the series. But beware of spoilers if you haven't played them, since they summarize the story and show scenes from those games. So, a lot of this game revolves around visions
That's
and
pretty cool, though.
strategically equipping them for battle. Each one levels up individually the more you use them and have progression tracks to unlock additional spells, attacks, and passive buffs. While every vision can be attached to any party member, there's some clear advantages to finding a good pairing that can complement a character's core abilities. A lot of these mechanics sound familiar, but if there's one entry to point to as inspiration, it's Final Fantasy V. In an interview I
the
did
job
with
system.
producer Keisuke Nakashima and director Hiroto Furuya, which you can read on IGN.com, they frequently pointed to Final Fantasy V as one of their personal favorites and how much they loved its job system. These games share a level of flexibility that I really enjoy in RPGs, and I hope this leads to a deeper experience that evolves beyond simply accounting for elemental affinities.
My turn.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
Now,
good
as I
though.
said at the top, I'm looking forward to Final Fantasy.
All right, I think that's it, guys. We got enough gameplay. What you guys think, man? I think it's looking really good. I really think that it's different enough to where it's gonna feel like a new experience. I do, because it's like I don't know. The best game I can describe it as is probably World of Final Fantasy. You know about that, the Monster Collection game, which I did like it. Don't get me wrong, but it's kind of in that vein for me. I feel like, you know, but that was a great game. Don't get me wrong. Oh, screw that final boss, because he's a punk. He's a punk. But anywho, yeah, it's looking great, man. Let me know what you guys think. You guys hyped for this? Because I honestly I am. I am. It's very unique. It's very unique. So yeah, man. I appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys have a great evening. JMG out.